All right. Welcome. All right. I think we're up and running. Welcome to the second episode of Dune, my Dune Weekly podcast. We have some interesting things to talk about tonight. A couple topics, just some couple articles I picked out to. I'm trying to see if that music is actually too loud or not, but I have some background music today, and I'm trying to see if it's not too. I don't. I want it to be very faint. But yeah, welcome to the stream, everyone. We'll give it a couple seconds to get some folks in. Let some people get in the stream. But this is my. Yep, I don't think it's too bad. I don't think the music is too bad. It's good enough. All right, so welcome to the stream, everyone. Second episode, my second live stream, Dune Weekly, and we're talking a little about some recent articles I've seen, just some things that I've searched and kind of just kind of you know struck me as interesting. The first thing, actually, this wasn't the first story I was going to talk about. The first story I was about was Gamescom. Gamescom happened in Germany. They released their gameplay footage, and this was from Kotaku website. They were talking about it. I did a video. If you guys seen it, I also did a video that my most recent video was basically a overview of that video, and I kind of voiced over it myself. But some of that footage is pretty cool. I'm gonna show some here in a second, but um, they're basically talking about everything we learned from Dune Awakening's massive new gameplay showcase. So I'm gonna talk about some of the stuff I liked and some of the stuff that was kind of concerning. But there was like really one thing that I didn't like about it, what we saw, and I'll get into that. This is my personal take. But what they're talking about here is Dune Awakening, the survival MMO set in Frank Herbert's uh, iconic Dune franchise or universe from developer Funcom, and they released their actual gameplay footage this week at Gamescom Cologne, Germany. And they were talking a little bit about the character creator. First thing the new gameplay footage showed off was the Awakening character creation process. I covered that in my video. And developers say that the present characters feel like they would fit right in home. Okay, so they keep trying to say that there's influence from the movies, Denis Villeneuve's movies on this game, which they did have actually input from Legendary Films. They had coordination and when they're making the game. So some of the stuff looks like it, some of it doesn't. That first worm, I don't really. This is going to be kind of. I'm trying to. It's very small gripes. I don't like the look of the worm. I prefer the look of the worm from the Denis Villeneuve movies. It looks like the second big worm in the video was actually closer to that kind of worm, but that initial worm and the one they keep showing, I just don't like the way it looks. My personal feeling, but that's a small gripe. Well, we'll get into that. And then, this is a really kind of a very clickbaity website. I don't like it. I don't really go to um news websites anymore because all the clickiness, all the ads. It's funny because they want ads to make money, but then ads keeps me from wanting to go look at their website. Look, they just keep popping back up, but that's fine. The character creator was okay. Um, that wasn't the worst part of the video. See, this is the worm you'll see right here. This worm looks closer to the movie, and this is the big worm out in the deep desert area, which I thought looks better. but the other worm does not look as good to me. I don't know why. Here's the part. Okay, the part I did not like about the video was the combat. It looked a little bit janky to me. I don't know if you guys seen my video yet. It just looked a little janky. I'm trying to bring a full screen view of it over so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. I'm gonna bring some over. I'm gonna bring some of this. I'm doing ad lib here, guys. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just show a full screen of some of the combat. So this was my video I made earlier without audio. But when you get to the point in the well, first I'll show you the funky worm I didn't like. I don't like the way that the jaws are in that worm. Personally, I kind of like the Denis Villeneuve's version better. That's just a small gripe. And let me jump over to the combat. So some of the gameplay footage was pretty cool. Mostly it was actually all pretty good. Let's see here. Okay, so now he's getting into some of the combat. So this part I didn't mind the running around and some of the mechanics and things. But some of the combat, the shooting isn't so bad, but the melee combats looked a little rough. See, that part's not too bad to me. That part didn't look too bad, the gunplay. Though this is the part I got a little bit worried. I didn't really like some of the way that the melee looked underpowered. See that, and some of the movement of the enemy AI looks a little funky. So if you see right, yeah, see that? It just looks a little sluggish, right? Looks a little weird. So you just need that guy. Now this part right here was cool. See, the gunplay to me looks fine. It's that melee combat. If you look, it just looked a little. Let me go back to that part right real quick. He fights a guy. Where did he fight the guy? Right here, maybe? Yeah, right. Watch. Right here. Boom, boom, boom. And then he just, then he died. Like, that was, like, weird, right? Delayed. Yeah. So that part stuck out to me. I didn't really like it. Now, and the other part with the next part where you shoot you're a mentat and you shoot a hunter seeker. So this part's cool, but watch when the guy dies. He just ragdolls. I thought that was kind of dumb. But hopefully they smooth out those animations after the beta, before release. If they smooth those out a little bit, that's not a big issue to me. Other than that, the rest of the game looks awesome. But the problem with a game like this is combat's really gonna make or break the game. That's pretty much the fighting mechanics is really what makes or breaks a game, right? So, the building of the bases look cool. The everything else looked, the base building right here, this was fine to me. I didn't have a problem with this. I didn't have a problem with it at all. What do you guys think in the comments? Yeah, the base building looks pretty cool to me. It's fine. Yeah, so you can make a template, and then you make your template, and you can fill in the materials to build it. So other players in your faction or guild can come and help you build a slat or a hologram you laid down, and they can come and build it. So that was not an issue. Let me see here. The materials look cool. Like this printer looks awesome. This 3D printer. That's pretty cool. Yeah, look, you see the animation of the printer. That's pretty cool. Of the fabricator. That is pretty cool. Let's see. The vehicle stuff looks fine to me, actually. The building, you have to build custom parts for your vehicle. That's cool. The traveling on the vehicle is cool. The desert looks great. All this stuff looks great to me. At nighttime, you have to fight like if the starter car catch you on patrols, you got to fight them. I thought that was cool. The combat looked better in this part than that other part, so maybe that was like just that particular area. Yeah, I can't wait either for it. Yeah, so the vehicle stuff looks good. To me, the base building looks good. The resources, all that looks survival aspects. Everything here in this game so far, my personal opinion, it looks great, except that melee combat. That melee combat is rough. They need to fix that. Especially some of the way the animations, like if you sword slash a guy, he should react to that in a certain way, right? So yeah, see, I don't like this worm. He looked like a shark. Yeah, so look at the worm. Doofy worm. So I don't like the way the worm looks, and I don't like the melee combat. But everything else I've seen of this, like look at the flyers, they look great. They look fine. Everything looks good. Everything else looks pretty cool. The map traveling looks cool. I like that. Would I have preferred like a full open world? But it's gonna be very hard to do that with servers and stuff. So this is pretty cool. Now my question is, are you gonna be able to like intercept people in that mode and have like PvP battles? Probably not. But so the Harko village, one of the villages you can go to do things. It looks fine. I didn't really see any issue with the settlements. You can pledge your allegiance or whatnot to the Harkonnens there. This part looks cool. I like that. These dungeon events you go and you raid. I like this part. And so in this part of the video, the combat looks a little bit better. So I don't know what was going on with this. So you can team up with your guys here. You can go and raid these dungeons, and at the end you clear them out, and at the end you get the rare items. So that was pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. Yeah, you'll see come up here in a second. The combat looked a little rough. I mean, no, it looked better here than that one. So yeah, there you go. So yeah, the combat looked better here. Look at that cool energy wall. They ran right into it. That was kind of stupid, but the gunfighting doesn't look as bad as the melee is what looks rough to me. They have the shields on, so that's why you're not doing no damage to them really until you take your shield out. This part's cool. The flamethrower looks awesome. Yeah. This part looks cool too. The spice boom comes up. So this is like an event. This reminds me of Sea of Thieves. If you've played Sea of Thieves at all. Hey, welcome to the chat, guys. I am on Twitch now. I'm on YouTube, and then if you follow my links down there, I got a TikTok account and a Facebook. I'm a little more active on the Facebook than the TikTok, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't like TikTok. It's just a lot of weird stuff on there. So, and it's all flooded with politics stuff right now, which I'm not. This channel is not doing any of that. So, let's see here. So that was at the end of that video. But let me go back to the article. The news article. No, the original one. Yeah. So the original article. What Kotaku was talking about. This article is pretty generic. I think I covered better information. I probably did it better in my own opinion. I did a better in my video, better explanation of the game than these guys. But these guys probably aren't following it daily like I am. Yeah, so yeah, you'll make your base. So it's gonna start off a very standard survival game, and you have to harvest, thatch and all. Like I call it thatch. I call everything. I'm an Ark player. I used to play Ark, so I'm very familiar with survival games. Big Ark player I was. Used to tame the wyverns on the what's the frozen, what was that, Ragnarok? Was that the name of that island, that map? See here, and this is the final part of the gameplay showcase. Teased that Tough as Nails endgame was centered around large explosions. They're spice plumes, that's what they're called. So they obviously don't know anything about Dune, whoever wrote this. But yeah, and one thing that they didn't really mention is the worm sign. So they haven't really mentioned it. It's worm sign. We have, like, you got to have that in the. The cool thing is the Frem kit in the beginning that you pick up. That Frem kit's pretty cool. Yeah, so that article about covers that. It's kind of more of me talking more than reading the article, but yeah. So it's all over the news right now that they had a successful Gamescom. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump straight into the next little news article I'm gonna talk about is the Denis Villeneuve had one very specific goal with Dune 2's black and white fireworks. So if you watch Dune Part 2, in Dune Part 2, when they're on that scene at the on Gidi Prime at the Coliseum, that star system has a black sun, so everything's in black and white when you're outside, which was pretty cool. I don't think that's not from the book. I think they kind of made that up, but not that I know if it was from the book or not. I don't remember hearing anything about that. Maybe, but that scene was actually almost right out of the book, the gladiator scene. There's a couple things that have changed. There was no Thufir Hawat there. They didn't have Thufir Hawat. He was supposed to be, kind of basically hanging out there with the Baron and stuff during that time. And then I don't think he actually shows up till a little bit later in the book, but they talk about him. And then I don't know what happened with that movie, but I don't know why they cut Thufir Hawat out of that movie. Right? He is kind of has a somewhat big part in that book all the way through it till the end, until he's gonna assassinate Muad'Dib, and then he doesn't do it, just kills himself instead. And then they didn't do that, and they totally just cut him out, so you just assume in the Denis Villeneuve's world that he just died in the Battle of Arrakis. It never shows him die. It doesn't show it. That was just, I don't know what was going on with that behind the scenes. So one day I would like to know why they cut all that guy's scenes out and didn't even show him. Because Thufir Hawat's supposed to escape the city. He survives, gets out there. He's hanging out with some wounded Atreides soldiers. He meets up with those Fremen, and then he's basically like, "Hey, I'm gonna work for you guys if you help me get out of here." And then that Fremen are about to agree. They agreed to kind of take care of him, and then the Sardaukar or Harkonnen troops, I can't remember who it was, just shows up, boom, and gets them right away and kills them and captures Thufir, and he becomes, basically a slave of the Baron with poison. But they don't do any of that in the movie. They left it all out. So it was one of my gripes. So this sequence here in Dune Part 2 sticks out perhaps most. It's clearly 6 months later is that entire detour on the Harkonnen planet Gidi Prime with the Roman-esque Colosseum and all the brutal sadistic culture on display. It's fascinating bit of world building, exciting intro to Fade Ralph, though. Okay, yeah, and it's a sequence that seemingly defies all rules. Yeah, because they're talking about the Black Sun. Most notably, the sequence with color palette, whereas director Denis Villeneuve depicts desert sequences in these movies with fairly muted colors, especially compared to other desert set blocks like Mad Max Fury Road. The Harkonnen sequences take things further by presenting us a world that's almost entirely black and white. So that's pretty cool. So if you didn't know, I looked into this, and they kind of want to had like a food coloring whatever type effect here when the fireworks too. If you drop like food coloring into whatever, I think that's what he's talking about. or it's like oil in the soap or something. I can't remember what he was talking about, but they mentioned it in one of the um, other scenes in the extras on the DV on the Blu-ray or 4K. They talk about it. They were trying to look for a certain effect for those fireworks. It's pretty cool. That is a great scene. Oh yeah, right. Drops of ink falling into clear alcohol. That's what he said. Boom. So drops of ink. That's what it was. I was thinking food coloring. I don't know why I was thinking ink. Almost the same thing. Yeah. So that was what they were looking for with those fireworks. That's a pretty cool scene. That's how they did it, I guess. Yeah. It's hard to argue with the results. Yep, that was pretty cool. That was, I mean, the cinematography in that movie is one of the best I've ever seen. I mean, it's definitely gonna win an Oscars for something, special effects or something. If it doesn't win Best Picture, dude, what other? So this is a side note. I was thinking about this yesterday. What other movie has come out this year that's better than Dune Part Two? I don't. I haven't seen one. So that movie's, to me, I think it's gonna be on the, if it's gonna be nominated for Best Picture for sure. If it doesn't win, I'll be very upset. But yeah. So here's the end of this article. Another telling bit from behind the scenes of the book is a description of what Denny Villeneuve. Oh, I think I have that book. A homogeneous group of men and women with similar body types, all wearing same style of clothing. He reportedly told his costume designer a crowd of. He wanted them to look like kind of like vampires. That's interesting because they don't really look like that in the book. Yeah, in fact, I think Fade is supposed to have like red hair or something in the book, if I remember correctly. Our current society seems lacking in almost any sense of individuality. This is a trend throughout the entire Dune universe, in which pretty much every character has long learned to stifle their emotions for the sake of the political faction. Okay, yeah, so they're just saying everybody that they're just, and the Baron used a lot. Actually, talk about clones there. You're talking about Baron was into having those um Golas. So I don't know if this is considered canon, but it talks about it in Paul of Dune, the Brian Herbert sequel to Dune, is that Hyder de Vries was actually a Gola or a clone, and at the Baron he had died on Kaitan. I guess there's like an overthrow in the lore that happens in some time before Dune, or something happens, and Piter was actually killed. And the Piter that we see in Dune, the now, well, is a clone of himself. So I guess the Baron had a whole, on the Thalaxu planet. He had a whole swath of these Piter clones just waiting to go in case one of them died. Because he knows this big thing: never waste a good mentat. He always said that all the time, right? Um. So yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting that is a little tidbit of extra lore. Whether or not you like the Brian Herbert books, which I do, and it's up. I mean, take it with a grain of salt, I guess. So yeah, pretty interesting. They've been talking about that scene in that article or recently. So the one last thing, for whatever reason, this has been in the news, is they're talking about James McAvoy when he played Leto, that's in freaking Children of Dune, the show. So if you don't know, there's a sci-fi. I think it was a 2000, the year 2000 sci-fi special Dune, and it's pretty cheesy. It's like if you go watch it now, you're like, wow, this looks bad. It's really cheap looking to me. That's why I have a hard time looking at it. It looks worse. It looks worse than the 1984 Dune. But story wise, supposedly it's supposed to be one of the closest to the book's adaptation. So yeah, so they're just saying James McAvoy. Most people don't really know or realize he was in Dune. He was doing Children of Dune. So that's pretty cool. I'm trying to see here, but like he's be. on the roll. So he was Leto the second, and he's like there's scenes in the Children of Dune where he's like comes zipping in because there's like have super speed and all this stuff, right? And he's like zipping in, zipping around, has his shirt off. I think he's already starting to like merge with the sand trout and all that. So it's pretty funny. But you can just go watch that stuff on YouTube. If you search Dune sci-fi miniseries, you can watch the whole thing, and then you can watch the Children of Dune. So I guess Children of Dune got more budget, so it looks better than the Dune part. Yeah, the Dune, man, it looks rough. The sci-fi series. Yeah, there he is with the shirt off. He's already merging with the sand trout. But look how young he was. Because James McAvoy, man, he was doing Dune. And a lot of people don't realize it. It's pretty fun. Frank Herbert, Dune is so far only adaptation of the first novel to include the second Leto. Yeah, because there's no Leto. Yeah, so the Dune show is that Dune show, or Children of Dune, is the only time we've seen the kids yet. So I don't. This could spoil some stuff. So it could spoil some Dune Messiah stuff if you haven't seen it. But hopefully I don't. Yeah, we got Nima. So the sister is Ganima, and then the Duke Leto the second, or not Duke, but Leto the second is the the McAvoy who played him. So I don't want to. This is gonna be a spoiler, but in the next movie, I don't know if they're gonna do this. These kids are supposed to be born, right? And then they'll be born, I'm thinking, at the end of the movie. And that's probably how they're going to leave it off, I'm guessing, with them being born. And then, like, I don't know if they're going to kill Paul or if they're going to actually really have him walk off. Like, so Paul is going to disappear at the end of this next movie, some form of fashion. I don't know what. In the book, he walks into the desert to, just basically get eaten by a worm, but then he doesn't actually do that. But then I don't know, the way they keep hinting is that I don't think they're gonna do the same ending. They might have. I wonder if they're actually even gonna kill Zendaya, because this is getting into severe spoilers, guys, if you haven't read Dune Messiah. But in the chat, let me know in the chat if you guys have actually read Dune Messiah. And do you know, whoever's watching, let me know in the chat. Type in there, yeah, you've read it or you know what happens. Because I'm about to talk about some severe spoilers. What's probably going to happen in that movie. Nope, nobody's talking. Who we got here? Who do we have in the chat? I guess I gotta see some. I gotta mess with some of my. Oh, I need to see if my Dune channel is actually even. Not Dune channel, but hold up a second, guys. I need to figure out how to work all my stuff here and get my screens all nice looking. I need to change here real quick. Oh, there we go. I think it's actually holding up. Let's see here. I'm looking at some settings here. Oh, that's what it is. I don't have all my. There we go. Nope, no one's talking in the chat here, though. Yep. Next time I'll have to have my stuff over on this side and my articles over there, but I'll figure it out. I'll get it all figured out. Yes, that was pretty cool. They were talking about him recently on Collider, and he basically saying that people don't realize that James McAvoy was Leto the second. Yeah. And I think that's pretty close to I think I had a little more interaction last week on my live stream than this weekend. I might have had better stories, that's for sure. There's just not a whole lot of stuff going um, on Dune right now. It's basically we're waiting on this game to come out, and we're waiting on Dune Prophecy to come out, which I talked about last week. Dune Prophecy comes out on when does Dune Prophecy come out? The exact day, it's November. Dune Prophecy comes out on release date. It's gonna be says November 2024. It doesn't say a day yet. So this November. Why doesn't it say a day yet? That's interesting. Interesting that Dune Prophecy is gonna come out 2024. Interesting. The Penguin Show, Franker. Yeah. I gotta look and see if you can Children of Dune you can watch. Can you watch these on HBO? I'm surprised if they don't have that. They're Sci-Fi Channel, so I'll tell you what, one thing with this Dune Prophecy show I'm kind of worried about is the timeline seems we're all wrong. And I don't think they really have the Butlerians and stuff going around. Unless Travis Fimmels playing the unless he's playing the, but there's supposed to be a guy with no legs and stuff, and like he's like basically he got wounded real bad before, and he's the fanatic that's hunting down any remnants of technology. But that guy's not in it, and I don't see any casting for Ivorian Atreides either. So, and I didn't see his brother and sister that show up. They're evil in that book, Sisterhood of Dune. I don't see anybody casted for them, so I think they're gonna leave a lot out of the show that's from Sisterhood of Dune. So it's just gonna be a loose adaptation, but oh well. I guess we'll deal with that. I got 3 people in the live stream. I appreciate everyone that's oh there we go. There we go. The Techno Lab is in. I was about to end the stream because I wasn't getting anybody talking. I'm just talking about the Dune show again. You missed it earlier. We talked about the Dune Awakening gameplay release, and I might play that again here in a second. Let me let's see. Yep, I'll show you guys the gameplay again then, since see the gameplay of the Dune game if you haven't watched it yet. But I did kind of a breakdown of that video. I have my latest videos is that, so you know the game's gonna have its character creator, all the normal stuff, and he made a Harkonnen looking chick right there. And it's gonna be a survival game, so you can actually drink blood too in that game because you can use it for water. You're actually gonna a Reverend Mother is the character creator essentially, and then you're going to get sent down to a planet. You're gonna crash. You're gonna be like in this cave. And then you're gonna wake up in this cave, and you start off with basic survival stuff. So you get your first couple items in the game, and you can craft some basic items, little healing kits and a knife and things like that. See, there's some crafting over there. Yeah, so you're gonna be able to make a heal kit and scrap metal knife right in the beginning. You can cut through stuff. You can climb. You're gonna see him climb here in a second. The graphics look pretty good so far. gather your. See, I wish there was a little bit more of a animation of the plant when you like it would shake real quicker. You know, there's not. You just grab it and it disappears. So they needed to get some animations on the gathering, resource gathering. Just remember, this is kind of a beta, pre-beta, like not even early. It's early beta. Yeah, you should be able to like pick those a little bit. They should move around or like break apart with little twiggies or something when you grab it, like poof away or whatever. You make your own character. Yeah, who you're supposed to be. Yeah, so you make your own. This is a multiplayer game, so it's you make and customize. You're not playing one of the characters from the game. This is a survival MMO, so it's gonna be a online kind of, similar to Ark or Rust or. So this is a multiplayer. You play together. So theoretically, you could we could team up and build a base and build a whole empire together in there. And you have a safe area, so your base won't get hit by other players, and unless you're out in the PvP area. It's only going to be on computer though initially. So, did you ever get a PS5 yet? I know you were still using the PS4 before. It's going to come out on PS5 eventually. Pretty cool. That's a whole open, survival area, the whole desert, and the worms can get you and everything. So that's resource gathering. You scan it. This is cooler. So you scan it, you get the weak point, and boom, it shatters. See how it shatters? Those bushes really weren't doing any effect like that. So that was something I was kind of like, they should add. Spice can mess you up. You can get all messed up from the spice saturation apparently when you're walking around. And I don't. They didn't really say what it does to you. Gives you a vision or something. I don't know. Blacks you out. So this is the base building part. Oh no, NPC base, not the base building. This is he's gonna raid a computer AI base. See, this is the part of the game. The melee combat coming up is what I kind of. The melee combat is what kind of I didn't like. It looked a little rough. That grappling stuff is cool. Use a grappler in combination with a suspensor field. You can float around. So he's gonna make the Mauler pistol. That's a good man. That's a good the good technique to use. I think the gunplay doesn't look so bad. It's the melee is the bad. So this part wasn't. I mean, hit him right in the head. Boom, got him. So this part was a little laggy or something when he's fighting this guy here in a second on the stairs. It just felt kind of laggy. Right here, this one right here. Boom, boom, and boom. And it was like, what? It just looked a little delayed when the guy got, it registered the hit reg. Boom. See, I mean, I guess it's not as that. It could be. It's not that bad. They'll probably fix it up a little bit. It's just the animations, really. This needs to feel a little more flowy or whatnot. Yeah. So. Boom. Okay, the Hunter Seeker, you can use that. It looks cool. But this guy dies all stupid. Watch. Yep. And I just can't stop laughing at that ragdoll mechanic. It's funny. And I hope. I don't know if anybody said in the Dune Awakening Discord or not. If this game is going to be a cross-account play, like, can I log into my computer, play it, but if I want to go on the PS5, can I link my account and I can continue on my same character progress? Because some games are like that. You can play in between platforms on your same account. I don't know. I'm not sure if they said it's going to happen or not yet. But I don't think the console version of this game ain't coming out right away. I don't think they're coming out for... They didn't say. But It might not. I don't know. It could be months before the console comes out. Or maybe they're kind of waiting to see how well the. Maybe they're gonna wait and see if how well the game does in the PC, and then whether or not to waste money. I mean, this game could on launch day could totally, they could totally whiff it, but it could bog down. Like we could have a whole Helldivers 2 thing going on again. See, Helldivers 2 was so good that people didn't care. They kept wanting to try and play it, but their servers bogged down on launch week or whatnot. And I don't know if this game could be affected by that, but it seems like they've been really trying to work out all the networking weeds of this game. So I don't think we're gonna have I don't really think we're gonna have a problem with that. Now, one thing I could see people getting mad about if there's not enough events and special things to do in the game. If there's not enough cool stuff to do in the world, that's what's really gonna make or break this game. I don't think it's gonna be so much the fighting mechanics, because aiming and arc and all that is horrible when you're fighting other people. I mean, that combat was horrible. That's real janky. So I didn't really see. Can you if you wear a shield in the desert? They don't let you wear. They don't let you. No, you can use shields anywhere, I think, right? But doesn't the shield? I wonder if the shield attracts the worm. I think they said that it does here too, like in the movies, in the books. So this part's cool. Customize your very own bike. I'm not really playing this guy. This is footage. If you're just joining here, this is not. This is. I don't have the game. This is the footage from their video that they released. So we're allowed to use these clips for we're allowed to use these clips for narration and discussion and stuff. So we won't get hit by any. To my knowledge, if you get lucky and get in the closed beta, it's an NDA, so you wouldn't be able to actually like show any of that if you got lucky and got in. Like theoretically, I couldn't even tell you if I had got in. I wouldn't have been able to tell nobody until it's open beta. Oh, this worm looks so. I don't like the way the worms look in this version. The worm, look, it looks like a shark, right there, more than a worm. But right here, this is the part when it's like, doofy. That's a doofy, a derpy worm. I like the worm in the movies better, the new movies. Oh, this part right here is with the ornithopters is cool. I like the ornithopters. It looks like, I mean, I think they're going to smooth out a lot of these little animations and weird bugs and things. I think they're going to have a lot of that fleshed out before it releases. I mean, if they're saying early 2025, you're talking January, February, March release date, the first 3 months. Yeah, that worm, man, that worm is so like. Looked kind of dumb. Hopefully they fix that up a little bit. Didn't it look like a derpy worm though? Like bleh, bleh. The cities look cool. That's pretty. There's like 3 things with the games that I've seen so far that it not worries me, but kind of bugs me. See, the flight looks cool. The ornithopters look cool. Looks like that one has got a little lag, but. So this part is, so you're going to be able to go in and invade these dungeons with your buddies. So you land you got to build those ornithopters, by the way, but you can go in here and you can clear these dungeons out. And then if you clear them out, beat a boss, I think, and then, so it's going to be, it seems like the single player of this game is going to be kind of like, what's the word? Or not single player, but the PVE areas. I feel like they're gonna be a little bit like I can't think of the shooting games. Tom Clancy's whatever they are. But though it seems kind of like that. The Tom Clancy game. That wall's cool. That shield wall. I like that. So you have to clear these areas out with your buddies. I wonder if you try to solo this, is it like now are they gonna have like super fortresses? Or are they gonna have like a super pirate spice crawler event where you gotta go and you know what I'm saying, or something like that, or spice plume. So they're gonna have these spice plumes out there, and when they blow, you can go harvest the spice there, but everybody can see it, every player in the game. So you're gonna have to fight other factions over that, and you can actually like drop a thumper down and mess with people. So that was pretty cool. They just escaped there, so I guess the worm's gonna always comes. I don't know if the worm is it a time. I wonder if it's like a timed event for the worm. I wonder if that's how they're gonna do it. It closes on you after you have like the once you guys start doing things, it only lasts for what 15 minutes. Is that I wonder if it's to be a timer, but they're not. So if they do the time thing, like that worm just closes up after a couple minutes. I hope they don't put a counter. I hope they just let you try to figure it out. That'd be kind of fun. Gameplay footage. Same thing again. But yeah, so I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys think what do people think with how the game looks so far? I think it's looked good, but it looks like it's got some small things they need to tweak. The melee combat, I don't like the way the smaller worms look. And let me see, there was something else I didn't like. It was really all it was then. Oh, some of the animations aren't like when you gather things and stuff. They need to tweak, and some of the other animations, how the enemies die and fall, or like yeah, some of those like movement. The AI looked a little dumb when when you kill it, and just some small stuff like that. But man, they got to fix that combat, man. Because if the combat. No, the real question is too, what's the PvP really gonna? I didn't see any PvP melee. They didn't show any of that, so I'm wondering if it's like so kind of not there yet that they're not showing that. They showed looks like they have the gunfire down good, but the melee hit reg seemed weird to me. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what you guys think. What do you guys think about that? Do you think I'll go to that point? I'll go to the part I'm talking about. I'll go to the part I'm talking about the melee. Here, it's this part here. Let's pass this part. It's gonna be here in a second. Right here. So yeah, watch. This is the part I didn't really like. This is cool. I like that where you jump in, do the knee kick, boom, like Duncan Idaho. That's cool. They see how their arms, man. Like they're not moving. Like they're not moving. Watch this guy. And watch how this guy falls. So he's like all delayed and funky. Like, watch how he runs towards him and later on. Watch. The guy to the left. Watch him. His arms are like, I'm gonna get you. His arms don't move at all. And it's just, yeah, so they need to fix some of the animations of that. This right there, that hit reg and all that. That combat seems a little funky. This part's cool. I like when they do that jump. See, that's a cool. See, they got that down. That looks fine to me. that the Duncan Idaho kick. The gunplay looks fine, really, to me. I don't see any issues with the gunplay. So you can scan with the Mentat. That's cool. I'm like 90% cool here. 85, 90%. The game is cool, except for watch. So watch how the bad guy dies right here. What? Why is he gonna do it? Did I miss it? Oh, I missed that part. Oh no, I didn't. Right here. Derpy derp. Watch. Soink der. That part's funny. I can keep making fun of that. I don't know. Yeah, so that the animations, the melee fight, animations in general, the melee combat looks a little funky, and then the AI kind of moves around. It's kind of dumpy looking. I don't really like that. Their arms are out like, hey. But other than that, it looks pretty good. And the worm, Derpy Worm. Here, let's go see Derpy Worm. Derp Worm, it looks funny. Let's see here. I like it overall. I'm just having fun. I mean, it's not like it's like ruining the game for me. It looks kind of funny. Where's Derpy Worm? Derpy Worm's like right here. Where? Oh, right here. He's coming. It looked like a shark at first. See what I'm saying? Watch. Dun 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 dun. So they get away, but here it comes. Watch. Here comes the part. Derpy derp. Hey, what you doing over there? Right into the face. Why didn't they use, I guess they couldn't use the he's like his friend looking for him or something, right? Like, watch. He's like right here. Yeah, he's like watch. Hey guys. Hey, we wanna play? You wanna play with me? Come on, we do doop doop. That's what he looks like. I don't know. I hope FunCon doesn't see that and they feel bad because I'm just goofing off. I mean, but maybe they could. Maybe they. I mean, it might be too late to change that. Maybe they could make him a little more Dune movie wormy, especially the teeth. Because like the Chris knives are made from those sharp, spokey teeth, like from the movie. That worm only had like weird teeth, like shark teeth looking. So it kind of didn't really. It didn't really. No, the later worm looked good. The one that comes and attacks you at the spice plume, that worm looked good. That's perfect. I mean, it didn't have to exactly look like the Denis Villeneuve, but it looked closer. So that's what they should look at changing that. This is constructive criticism because I like everything I'm seeing, but they should honestly try to change that worm's animation, kind of shorten its. It's a tri-mouth. So it has its beaks, right? It's 3 beaks. I don't even know what a spice worm's anatomy is called, but you should, instead of having it like the pointy, 3 tri-star thing, have it look more like the worm from Denis Villeneuve. Maybe tighten it up back, bring it back a little, and give it more spokey teeth somehow. Have it look a little better. The teeth from the movie, And then this is turned into Arrakis Central, basically sensing session from the video. Yeah, but so the flying looked fine to me that I could see. I'll go back so areas concerned. Some of the animations on, like, this is very minor because it doesn't really matter, but. When he's gathering some bushes and things here in the beginning, this is really kind of my first kind of gripe. Is when you harvest a small item, think it's gonna be up here. So when you harvest the little bush, like he's about to do here in a second, he's gonna harvest some bushes. Nothing happens. They're just gone. So there should be like a little wisp or something like a. This is very nitpicky. But he's about to grab. He's about to do right now. What is this called? It's called a plant fiber. So when you harvest this, it should like. It shouldn't just disappear like that. It should like poof, some little bit of residue or something flying through the air, or some dust or something. It didn't look very. It just disappears. It looks kind of dumb, honestly. Because other stuff later on, you'll show when you're shooting the rocks will crumble, so you get that effect of it like breaking apart. But the little bushes here, they just disappear. There's not really like, see what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's my first gripe. The next gripe of the game is the. Let me fast back. You guys, if you've been watching, you already know. But for new viewers, my second gripe, really kind of the game, was the gunplay. Maybe tweak it a little bit, but it looks okay. Let me get to see what I'm saying? Looks. I mean, yeah, it's not, that wasn't that bad, right? That's not too bad. The explosions look cool. The gunplay is, I mean, maybe it's, I'm not a super expert on this stuff, but the gunplay was, okay, maybe you could tweak it a little bit. Maybe, but other than that, it looks kind of standard, right? It looks fine. It's when you get to the point when you see the melee here in a second. It looks a little rougher. Throw a frag, yeah, so standard stuff. This part right here, let me go back. This part right here is the melee, so watch. So this part wasn't that bad. You just knocked him out right there. So that initial attack. But watch, his arms like, I'm gonna get you. Watch when he tries to come at him. Yeah, the time. Right there. Boom. Look at the guy. And this part right here. Slap, slap. And he's like, there's like a delay. It's like, it's not smooth. It's not fluid. It's not, you know what I'm saying? The animations don't look good. So the melee, the knee kick's good. They got that down. Boom. The guy falls right down. So that's responsive. So yeah, they got the knee kick good, but just some of the sword fighting didn't look very, it's too stiff. Your characters, they look too stiff there, and their movements. This part right here is funny. Watch the character modeling here, animation. Derp. He falls backwards like that. So they should, work on that a little bit. Some of those dying animations. Maybe they should, like, I don't know. I guess that was fine right there a second ago. That's fine. I mean, but this later scene doesn't look as bad. Yeah, and then let's get back. Then that was my gripes, and then my next gripe was pretty much the base building's cool, the vehicle building's cool, everything else is cool. Where's Derpy Worm? And then back to our old friend Toby, or Timmy the worm. So look at that. Look at his teeth. They don't. Those look like shark teeth. Those are not worm teeth. And then watch. Hey guys, what's going over here? We're playing. We're gonna hang out. Ooh, so Derpy Worm. That was my third kind of big gripe. Maybe make that worm. Yeah, I'm just watching this for a second, but yeah. Yeah, so this slipstream, I was looking at something for a second, but the slipstream travel, I don't have a problem with this. As long as the areas you're at are like huge, I don't have a problem with this mode. The villages look fine. We didn't see Arrakis. They didn't show that, so that's interesting. They didn't show us Arrakis. Yeah. So that looks pretty cool. You can go to that town. That's our Harkonnen control city. In the video, I told you there's like some lore in this because we're in a separate reality or um, path in Paul's head. That's what we're living in. So look how there's stuff going on. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I didn't have testing stations are cool. You go in there and you can raid these and apparently every week the stuff wipes, and it changes locations of events. And so I'm wondering if that just turns back into a rock face, or is this same location always going to be static every time, but just the events activate at it. So I wonder what, the way I understand it, they're going to have random stuff pop up in other locations the following week. So like that would be another cave but in a different location. So that's kind of what I'm thinking that they said they were going to do. But so this is cool. You clear out these keeps, and it's kind of like Destiny, right? So that's cool. Destiny 2 and all that. I like that game. And this is just more up my alley for lore. Like the lore of Dune is way better than Destiny is confusing half the time. I mean, Dune lore is way easier to digest. And that's pretty. The combat in this section didn't look as bad, so that's good at least. Flamethrower is cool as hell, right? Boom. Yeah. See, yeah, they did a lot of gunfight here though. There's shields. Enemies got shields. They have that cool little barrier shield you can play out right there. It's cool. Um, but they didn't show as much melee here. Yeah, so I think they probably already know they're working on that. So they're probably working on the melee combat a little bit, make it look a little bit. And then the AI need to move a little bit better. Their animations, the players are pretty okay. The AI, their arms are all like locked, like they're a crab or something. So hopefully they'll loosen up those guys' animations somehow, make them a little bit more fluid. Yep. That's about it though, man. That was really my gripes. The Spice Boom stuff looked cool. I'm gonna take everybody pay attention here. Do you see any melee combat when this is all players fighting each other? Right there. See that? This is all players. It's all gun battle, right? All gun fighting right there. Boom, gun. Yeah, there's no. You can put a thumper in. Oh, there. Well, that's the weapon combat. Huh. Yeah, I didn't see it. So this part, I'm gonna pause it. Um, this looks like the worm from the movies, right? You know what I'm saying? Why is that worm different? Why doesn't the other worm look like this? So Funcom, you're gonna have to change that. I don't know if you can. Is it too hard to do that? If anybody from um Funcom finds my little live stream video, you really probably should change this all the worms to look like closer to the any of the new worms. It just looks better. Um, I mean that's just honestly they look cooler. They look more threatening, more scarier. Yeah, that small worm in the beginning, he's derpy worm. I hate to say it. Yeah, so that's this bugs me more. I'm like that. I'm OCD. The worm thing bugs me more than the melee combat, which is like a playable mechanic, which I should bug me more. Yeah, and the animation stuff bugs me more. That's just the way my mind works. So yeah. So hey, if anybody from, I know it doesn't mean anything, but they gotta fix the worm, man. Like joking aside, that it doesn't look good. This worm looks good. That worm here looks good. Old Mister Tim Timmy the Spice Worm did not look good. Let me see. The power. They're harvesting flower sand, and you can build with it and stuff. But then it tracks the worm, right? So then worm sign. Yeah, I don't know if they can even change it, or maybe they have a licensing where they can't change it. Maybe it's a licensing thing. Look at that. Okay, so it looks like a shark. Doesn't look like the worm. There's no teeth. He doesn't have any normal teeth in there. And watch. Hey, what you guys doing? Want to hang out with me? Doop 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 doop. I can't stop it. Making fun. Let's go back. There he is. Hey everyone. Oh, he's got teeth inside. You see, that's what they should do, is take that. Okay, so you see, if you can see my mouse, the tribe mouth here is bugging me. So this is just way too. These are too long, like the outer tribe mouth. So they should shorten this. They can leave them kind of if they have to. Shorten them and bring all the actual worm teeth up front, like Denis Villeneuve. So just morph it a little bit more Denis Villeneuve style, and it'll look a lot better. Yeah, this just looks too derpy. Too derpy. Hate to say. Yeah, I'm gonna gripe on that for a while, and then that's it. That was pretty much just those three things I'm kind of was thinking about. So not bad, not bad. Other than the worm, and then some animations, and then AI / melee, and so it's two separate things there. You have the melee combat, but then how the AI reacts and they move and their arms are stiff and that kind of thing. They need to fix that for sure. You'll have to fix that, the melee combat. So fix that before this. This is just for fun, but yeah, hopefully, and we'll see what happens when the game comes out, or when open beta or early access. See, I'm not sure if they're gonna do an early access or just open. And it's just gonna be released. So, I'm I hope I can get in an open beta at one point, but we'll see what happens. I think I could provide some good feedback on this game for these guys. So I have to get this open beta open eventually. I'm not a developer or nothing, but I know Dune, and I know the movies really well, and I know the books too. So I can provide some. And you probably got a guy already working there that's way better, or a person. But maybe there's just something they don't see, and I can help out. That'd be kind of fun. Yeah. Some what's the word? The problem is the worm. They might. You know what, guys? Hold on a second. They might have shortened this already. Let me see. See if I can find. Let me see if I can find this for a second. Hold on. I guess I should have talked about the booth they had there. Oh yeah, so I don't think they're gonna change it, because if you look right here, yeah. So this is they're not. That actually looks better. No, that looks better. Yes, they did short. So compared to. So this is at the current booth at Gamescom, which is awesome. I wish I could have went there. I think I've been in that building before, in Cologne, Germany. They might have had Gamescom there, or Gamescom, Games Day Warhammer in 2012. When I was in Germany, I went to that. It was one of the last games days too, but it might have been the same place. I don't know. Maybe not. So you can see the worm. So this is the worm. This is what the worm's gonna look like. If they had a big statue of it, that's what it's gonna look like. But this is better. So let's look back at. That's definitely different. They shaved it back, so they did it already, I think, guys. Let's go look again. Yeah, so that's different than that. Oh yeah, this looks way better. This is this is better. This actually, so shorter tri mouth, You know, that's really what it is. Shorter tri mouth, and then even though these should be up, these should be, you know, it really shouldn't even have this. It should be like, so maybe they explained it in there. This is a different type of worm, or something, or it's baby worm. You know, maybe this grows out when they're older. Maybe that's how they'll explain it. Yeah, this one looks like, you're right. This looks more like Tremors than the. Maybe somebody at the game Funcom loves Tremors, which I do. I watched it in the theater when it came out. But yeah, so this looks better. This worm, the statue of the worm, looks way better than in the game here. This is just like, maybe it's just the angle, but it's yeah. So this is whoever made this. This is much better. This is cool. This is good. So make that game look like this guy. Tweak it a little. Yeah. So if you do that, you're good. Make it look like your statue at the Gamescom. I'll do. That's better. And of course, the big worm at the end is perfect. But I don't know. Yeah. See. Yeah, not quite as good. I know I'm griping about this stupid worm. Yeah, that's about it though, folks. I don't have. I mean, I had 7 viewers, 6 viewers. Oh, this was supposed to. I was. What time is it? Oh, going longer than last week. Yeah, I'm about to end the stream here, but yeah. Any other questions? You guys wanted to see anything else on this? I had a weird, interesting show. Did 3 articles. Talked mostly about this more than anything. This is the big thing we care about right now. There's not a lot of good Dune news for regular Dune right now. Maybe so next week I'll probably just do cover some of the Dune merch that's available out there that I've seen, and some of the stuff I got a lot of it. I got most of the Dune merch. Yeah, maybe I'll do next week will be yeah, it's a 4-day weekend next week too, right? So then so I'll do next Saturday night we'll do another Dune Weekly, and I'm gonna cover a lot of the different types of Dune merchandise you can get out there. So yeah, it'd be pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah. Other than that, I'm probably gonna go ahead and call this the evening of the stream. This episode of Dune Weekly. Other than that, we'll see you guys next time, next week.